The Hydro GritCleanse is a new generation of optimized fluidized bed grit washing technology designed with the operator in mind. The Hydro GritCleanse is designed to wash and dewater fine grit and other inorganic solids from concentrated grit slurry or wastewater. The Hydro GritCleanse is the ultimate grit washing and dewatering system for plants that want very low organic content in the final product without sacrificing fine grit removal capture. The system is designed specifically to be paired with either a HeadCell or Grit King advanced grit separation system to capitalize on their unparalleled performance. Grit slurry either flows by gravity or is pumped to the Hydro GritCleanse for washing and dewatering to produce a clean and dry grit product that retains 95% of all grit 75 micron or larger with less than 5% volatile solids in the final product. Flow is introduced tangentially into the conically shaped clarifier, establishing a rotary flow pattern. As flow is introduced tangentially, grit is immediately placed in contact with the vessel walls, creating drag forces and encouraging grit particles to quickly settle into the grit bed at the bottom of the clarifier. A return baffle located near the top of the water surface and above the inlet pipe protects incoming grit from exiting with the degritted effluent, effectively reducing grit loss. Grit and heavier organics fall to the grit bed while the very light organic material remains in suspension and exits the unit along with the degritted effluent. As the influent spirals around the clarifier, gravity induces a downward motion on the heavier grit particles while the effluent water and some of the lighter separated organics exit the system through the effluent pipe. The partially washed grit and organics settle onto the fluidized grit bed at the bottom of the unit. Washing occurs in the fluidized bed where stirring arms slowly and gently agitate the grit while water is introduced from the bottom to fluidize and expand the grit bed. The expansion of the grit bed allows the captured particles to separate by density, with the heavier grit particles settling more quickly than the larger, less dense organics. The cleaned grit settles to the bottom, while heavier organics particles collect on top of the grit bed over time. The organics are drawn off the top of the grit bed intermittently, based on a timer, and flow out of the GritCleanse to the downstream treatment process. Depth of the grit bed is monitored by a pressure sensor. Once a predetermined setting is reached, the shafted auger cycles intermittently to transport the cleaned grit out of the unit and into a dumpster for disposal. Capable of retaining the very fine particles these systems are known for, you'll have a complete end-to-end grit removal system that is designed to perform. With a single manufacturer, you'll have better integration of grit separation, pumping, and washing in the controls and in operation of the entire system. You'll have the benefits of single supplier accountability and single service points of contact to keep your system online longer and up and running faster after maintenance. Hydro GritCleanse has been tested and proven with independent third-party verification to remove 95% of all grit 75 micron and larger. It's time to get the ultimate in grit.